So hello everybody, Pup Twigs here. We're at episode number 7 of the Pupcast Unleashed, and today we have Pup Obsidian from Prince George, Virginia, joining us. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
So tell me a little bit about Pup Obsidian. Where did the name come from?
So, for the longest time, when I joined the pup community, I went by Slice, which is taking the word Slytherin and I just cut off the RIN. Just recently, I changed my name to Pup Obsidian when I um had basically met my alpha. Um, and Obsidian is my favorite gemstone,
Uh huh.
so which is why I chose Obsidian. And it's one I haven't seen used as a pup name before.
And you're right. I've seen a lot of pups over the last month going in and setting this thing up, and I have not seen Pup Obsidian yet. You're the first one, so. I know there's a lot of repeats on pup names out there, but yours I have not seen repeated yet. So,
Exactly.
Pup Obsidian, what is or some don't have them, but some do. What is your pup born date, or do you have one?
So technically, I became a pup on August 16th of 2016.
Okay,
But the name change didn't happen until about December 20th of last year.
all right. So you've been a pup for quite some time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming that you have a pup certificate.
No, I don't. I couldn't find the website and I couldn't
Well, I
I was
mean,
trying to find the website. Yeah.
I will.
I don't
I will share that with you. It's called pupopedia.com.
Okay.
And that way you can go in and key in all your information and then print you off or at least send you a link to your certificate where you can print it
Yeah,
off.
like yeah, I've used it before. It's just I couldn't remember the website.
Oh, okay, all right. So I know you said 2016 when you decided to become a pup. What was so attractive to the pup community that you wanted to become a part of it?
I came across the Tumblr post as I was scrolling through Tumblr one time, and I came across a informative post about pup play, and I dived into the rabbit hole of research on it and thought it was something that I was into because of the fact that I'm also a furry.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, most sometimes, if not all cases, most furries are also pups.
Yes, yes. Well, that's
So it's
cool.
like, yeah.
So I mean, 2016, have you had or run into any kind of difficulties being a pup?
So some of the difficulties I see is the whole of like one pup doing a certain thing causing drama, and then because you're associated with that pup, you get treated like the worst kind of person ever. So
Yeah,
like say like there's this one group that doesn't like this one pup and you're friends with that pup, you're basically seen as the worst person ever because you're friends with that pup that they don't like.
yeah. I see that a lot in this community. Unfortunately, wish we didn't have that because, we're all great people in some form or fashion, and we all deserve to be here.
Mhm.
So, with that in mind, what one thing do you think you would want to change in the pup community if you had the ability to do it?
I would definitely like to change that though, like the whole ostracizing people because they're friends with certain pups. But another thing that I've also seen that's become an issue, not really an issue, but kind of a concern, is the whole stigma of people thinking you have to have a hood or gear to be a pup,
Right.
which in most cases that's not the case. It's all about the headspace.
Yes, yes. And we have quite a few people in our pack here in Orlando that don't wear the gear, but they're still part of our community and they still come out to all of our events and stuff. So it's
Exactly.
pretty about it. So as Pup Obsidian, do you have any hobbies that you like to do?
So Not particularly for my pup side. It's more so I like reading, singing, dancing, writing, playing video
Good.
games.
Yeah. Video games seems to be a very common occurrence between all the pups. We all like to play video games.
Yeah.
So in Prince George, Virginia, do you guys have any pups that you're a part of, or
Not that I know of. I am part of Capital Paw, which is Capital Pups and Handlers, which also does events up in DC called Lobo and the Crucible.
hmm
Um,
so you said Capital Paw?
yeah, Capital Paw, which is Capital Pups and Handlers.
Okay, all right.
Um, I was brought into it because of my ex Dom. He was part of it, and so he brought me in and introduced me to it. And I'm also part of the greater DC Pet Play group on Telegram,
Okay.
which is how I know about the Lobo and Crucible. But unfortunately, right now, since I'm only 20, I can't enjoy the events because the events that they run are 21 plus.
Oh, okay. Well, you're getting close. You'll be able to
I'm
go out
getting
and enjoy
close.
it. I bet you're looking forward to it, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, what is it that you, other than we mentioned the headspace, but what things do you get out of being a pup?
So I've came across the largest group of friends online that I can trust and go to. Um, it's how I met my alpha. It's also how I've met my handler, um, and everything. And it's just I have a large group of friends now that I can go to if I'm not having the greatest day, and they can cheer me up, or if I'm going through a situation and I can sit there and I can talk to them about it and they can give me advice on what to do.
Good. Yeah, I find that pretty common as well, that it's a safe place for us to go out and be who we want to be.
Exactly.
Good, good. So let's say you have somebody new that is wanting to or thinking about getting into the pup community, pup play. What kind of advice would you give them?
So I do have 3 points of advice for anybody new wanting to join. Most is when choosing your own pup name, your official pup name, pick something you like. You can base it off a video game, your favorite color, just examples there. Um, my second point of advice is to always remember you do not have to have a hood or gear to be a pup. It's all about you and your headspace and what you perceive as yourself to be a pup. And then my third point of advice is when searching for an alpha handler or sir, find somebody you ultimately trust because in my experiences, I've seen my fair share of people who claim to have these titles and I've had bad experiences with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like my ex always used to say, dims are just doms trying to pretend.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know this is going off script a little bit, but if you mentioned the pup hoods again, it, do you stick with a specific color, or do you have different hoods that you wear throughout the, when you go to different events?
So when I first bought my first hood, which was at the age of 16, because I was working at a theme park called King's Dominion and I
Mm-hmm.
had money and stuff. So I bought myself a hood from Amazon. Because at that time I didn't think I knew about the Mr. S hoods.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought the hood from Amazon. It was purple. So I started off as a purple pup. That hood I had given to my ex, who I was with at the time, who was also a pup, and I had bought myself another one and went with red. That one got destroyed. And so this third one, a third one that I just got before my custom was another one from Amazon that was full red with the black brow and everything that my pack brother bought me for
Okay.
Christmas. Um, and then I bought this as a Christmas present for myself. Um, and when I did my name change, is when I decided my hood colors. Because like with Obsidian, you would think black, purple, silver sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I came up with the hood design that I have here.
Oh, and I do love the hood. It's looks amazing
Thank you.
and everything. So let's think about your question that you want to ask the next pup, and then we'll get into the one that was asked of you from a pup from yesterday. So if you could ask the next pup on here a question related to the pup community, what would that question be?
So my question is, why did you choose your hood colors and what is the significance of them?
All right, and that's a very valid question. I like that because I like to get into the thought process behind people's pup hoods. All right, so this one came from Pup Cato out of Georgia yesterday. He wanted to know, do you identify as an alpha, beta, omega, or and do you also have a handler? Which I know you pretty much answered that on the podcast.
So currently I'm an Omega in a pack.
Okay.
Um, so when I met my alpha, his name is Kafaris, by the way. Kafareus.
Okay.
When I met him, he could already tell that I was an Omega. But also I'm an alpha for my fiance. My fiance is also a pup.
Nice.
And I'm his alpha and everything. But I also, so I'm part of two packs technically. So I have my own pack, which is House Wolfstar,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm also part of my alphas pack as an Omega called House Whitelighter.
Okay.
And so yeah,
Well,
so I
awesome.
technically identify as both an Omega and Alpha.
And alpha. All right. Cool. So what else that you would care to share that we don't already know about Pup Obsidian that you'd like to in the podcast with?
Hmm. I'm a dorky pup. That's all I can say. I'm a
Hey,
dork.
there ain't nothing wrong with a dorky pup at all. It's stuff.
Um,
It's very fun community to be a part of.
yeah. I'm trying to read my questions. Yeah, so uh I would definitely say it's hard trying to find local groups for me here, especially with not being able to drive or have get anywhere around. So it's kind of hard to find like local groups or local pups.
Right.
Um, and I definitely know Pup Space is a good app to use to find pups, but at the same time, I don't get really much interaction on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in the pup group on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the pups, well, there's a couple of pups that I've met through like using the hookup app Grinder and everything, as well as Telegram. Um, During Pride Fest last year, I got to meet one of the pups that I had been talking to for a while. That lives in Virginia, that lives in the same state as me, and so that was really awesome. I got to take a picture with him, and then I met another pup. Actually, I met two other pups. Um, and I'm friends with one of them on Facebook. I'm friends with one of them on Facebook. The other one, I didn't get his socials and everything, but it was really nice to see at Pride Fest pups
Yes.
because it was my first full official Pride event that I've actually gone to.
Well, good. Well, yeah, and that's a great place to meet. I know today they're doing a Tampa, Florida Pride, and a bunch of the pups from our pack has gone over there to walk in it, but a bunch stayed here because tonight is puppy night at one of the bars. So the rest
Oh,
of us are going there tonight.
oh nice.
So, well, it was a pleasure getting to speak with you this morning. I don't want you to be a stranger. You know, stay in touch. If you
Of
find any
course.
other people or pups that want to be a part of this, I'm trying to spin this into a positive light for the pup community because I think it needs to be there. We welcome anybody and everybody, and that's the way I want it to be.
Of course.
So other than that, I will hopefully talk to you again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today.
Of course.